Hey everybody, how's it going? Marcos Villegas for Fight Up TV, powered by Stagefront VIP. Being joined with Oscar De La Hoya here in Los Angeles. You have a card that's could potentially be Fight of the Year between Alexis Rocha and Giovanni Santillan that we're going to touch on. But obviously, I got to talk to you about the most trending thing right now in the world of boxing: the end of Showtime. No more boxing. End of 2023. They're not broadcasting it. Just your reaction overall about how this can impact the sport of boxing.
It's a sad moment. I mean, it's a sad moment for boxing. Showtime really did a great job in giving us amazing fights over the years. With Tyson and Chavez, and Felix Trinidad, and recently giving us Crawford with Spence and Tank. So they will be missed. I strongly feel that when somebody exits the sport of boxing, they leave a nice memory in many people's minds, especially the Showtime that just again did a tremendous job. But life goes on, and boxing goes on, and boxing moves forward, and there will be many other platforms. Many more opportunities for young fighters to showcase their talent, and it's our job as promoters to go find them, to go look for them, to go and see who is willing to fill that void.
Is it a bad thing for the sport? Does this hurt the sport that now it's not on any network and it's all on apps now?
I'm not sure if it hurts it, because obviously the cord is being cut by many people across the globe. Does it affect it? Maybe a bit, because people are so used to watching Showtime and watching HBO and on linear TV. But our this generation is moving forward in how they want to consume their programming. And so digital platforms are now, the future and the way to go. But you never know. Maybe somebody might come in and seize the opportunity, because there is a void, but with those voids creates opportunities.
You weren't on Twitter. You expressed kind of what you said just now about Showtime going on, but you also said it. Now it's the time also to everyone to come together. Can you talk to me a little bit about what you meant by that tweet?
Yeah, the tweet about coming together with promoters. Look, whether it's Bob Arum, whether it's Al Heyman, whether it's Eddie Hearn, any promoter out there who we can make fights with, is just great for the sport. Leave your ego aside. Business will be business. Let's figure this out for the sake of the sport. And fighters like Canelo, for instance, they must step up and fight the big names. They must fight the Benavides, the guys like Crawford, create excitement on a global scale. Let's continue and try and make these big major fights happen, and the sport will continue to grow. Like I said, wherever there's void, there's opportunity, and I strongly feel that I think boxing will survive, but boxing will come back and be bigger and better than ever.
Terence replied to your tweet. He said he disagreed with what you said, but then you also responded to him. What's the difference in viewpoints there? Why do you feel that the viewpoint that you expressed on Twitter is different from his? But what's your reasoning behind that? Because he didn't agree with what you said.
And he didn't agree, and I understand.
Respectfully.
I understand why. Respectfully. Yeah. But respectfully, I've been a fighter, and I've gone in my own way when it comes to negotiating a fight, because I have an ego, especially when I'm a fighter. So when I'm a fighter and I'm sitting down on a table with my potential opponent in front of me, and with the people that I delegate that are smart, that are business people, it just does not work, because there's too many egos in the table. But if you're a fighter and you delegate your team, if you delegate your smart team to take care of the job at hand, and your job as a fighter is to train, your job is to focus on the job at hand. When I started doing that and becoming a businessman before I was a fighter, guess what? my focus was on business instead of the fight, and I started losing. It happens. So focus on the job at hand. Your window is so short. There's a window of opportunity. Take advantage of it as a fighter. Train hard. Do your job. But yeah, obviously, you're the boss. You're the boss, but delegate your trustworthy, smart people who can take care of the job.
This will be the last one on this because I do want to touch on this fight and Ryan Garcia returning as well. I don't know, who's at fault for this happening? Is it because of the fights that we've been seeing on the network with Showtime exiting boxing? Is it what they were putting on? Is it just a natural evolution of the marketplace? Like this was going to happen regardless? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't want to start pointing fingers and the blame game and this and that. But all I can say is that Showtime gave us some great fights. And that's all I can say. They gave us some great fights, and it's unfortunate that they're exiting the game. But like I said, life goes on. And we must, as promoters, the people who are behind the scenes in the industry trying to make things happen, it's up to us to find those new partners, those TV partners, those broadcasters and find a new home.
The fight behind us right here, Rocha and Santillan. I've told you before, and I've told anybody that I spoke to about it. I think this has the potential to be a fight of the year, if not an entertaining fight. But what's at stake for this fight, for the winner, and what type of performance do they need to show, especially Alexis, if he wants to get that title shot?
Right. Well, we do know, obviously, that Rocha is the #1 contender in the world. He's knocking on Terence Crawford's door. We do know that Terence Crawford is going to stay at 147, keeping his belts. We commend him for that. He's a warrior and he's a true gentleman, respectfully. And I think this fight here with Santillan is everything to both guys. Santillan is an undefeated fighter. He knows Rocha. They've sparred together. It's an amazing opportunity for both guys. It's a toss-up fight. Rocha wanted this fight. I commend him for that. But you're right. It's going to be a very entertaining fight. But the winner knocks on the door, on Crawford's door, for that world title.
And finally, Ryan returning to the ring. It's anticipated to be his first fight since his loss to Gervonta Davis. Sure. Just overall, for him, we've talked about wanting to see that Teofimo Lopez fight. Duarte, though, is he's tough. He's going to test Ryan, but that is still the goalpost for him is that fight with Teo at 140 after this if he wins.
Well, that's one of the options. That's one of the options, but
maybe Devin too, huh?
Absolutely, he's one of the options. Look, Ryan Garcia getting knocked out by Tank, but coming back against Duarte, you have to take your hat off to him, because what fighter does that? What fighter comes back after a knockout loss and comes back with a guy who is a knockout puncher? Duarte is no walk in the park. And Duarte knows this is a tremendous opportunity on a huge stage. So I commend both guys for taking this fight, especially Ryan, because like I said, winning this fight, if he wins this fight, the opportunities are endless. Fighting for a world title, fighting on the big stage again, on pay-per-view, and fighting the top guys in the world.
All right, Oscar, it's good chatting with you. I really appreciate it, my man. Here with Oscar De La Hoya, Marcos Villegas, Fight Up TV.